Welcome, folks, to another edition of Rant and Reviews. Today, we will be finishing up on a trade I made with fellow YouTuber King Joe. On today's episode, we will be doing the cards. Um, First up, number one, Beast. Beast's real name is Hank McCoy, 350 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Blue Strike Force. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 1, September 1963. With the brutish animal-like exterior of the mutant known as the Beast dwells a brilliant scientific mind. For while the Beast is a superhumanly strong and astoundingly agile, he is also one of the world's foremost experts in biochemistry. When not battling evil alongside the X-Men, he devotes his time to expanding the frontiers of man's knowledge. He also possesses the largest vocabulary of any superhero, which he rarely hesitates to use. Extra fact, the Beast's current hairy appearance is a result of a scientific experiment he performed on himself. Up next, the Wolverine, number 2. Uh, Real name, Logan. Height, 5'3", weight, 195 pounds. Group affiliate, X-Men Blue Strike Force. First appearance, Incredible Hulk, number 180, October 1981. Possessing the untamed savagery of a wild beast combined with the battle-tested skills of an international secret agent, the mutant known as Wolverine is one of the most dangerous men alive. His power to heal virtually any wound in minutes, combined with his superhumanly keen animal senses and his razor-sharp adamantium claws and skeleton, make him a nearly perfect fighting machine. Truly, he is one of the fiercest foes of evil on Earth. Extra fact, in his recorded mission, Wolverine battled the green-skinned behemoth known as the Hulk. Next up, uh, Havoc. His real name is Alex Summers. His height is 6 foot. He weighs 175 pounds. Group affiliation, X Factor. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 54, March 1969. Havoc has the ability to absorb cosmic energy and release it as an intense hot plasma blast. These powerful waves enable Alex to hold his own against any opponent, but his body is constantly absorbing ambient energy, and he must wear a special costume to regulate the incredible forces that dwell within. Trained by Professor X, Havoc once fought alongside the X-Men, but now leads his own mutant team, X Factor. Havoc's Extra fact: Havoc's father is a space-banning pirate and leader of the Starjammers, known as Corsair. Up next, Iceman. Real name, Bobby Drake. Height, 5'8". Uh, Weight, 145 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Gold Strike Force. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 1, September 1963. Iceman is able to generate blasts of intense cold that freeze the moisture in the air into ice. He can manipulate this ice into virtually any form, from thick walls to delicate sculptures. At one time, Iceman was unable to control his powers and wore an inhibitor belt to contain them, but no longer. Now this frosty mutant is fully in command of his abilities and is always ready to chill any heated situation. Extra fact, Iceman creates huge slides of ice, which he uses for transportation. Up next, Phoenix. Real name Rachel Summers. Height 5'7", weight 125 pounds. Group affiliation Excalibur. First appearance Uncanny X-Men number 141, January 1981. As the daughter of an alternate reality's Jean Grey, Rachel claimed the power of the Phoenix. As Phoenix, Rachel's potential for destruction is legendary, but her humanity keeps the Phoenix Force in check so that it can be used for good. Rachel traveled in her time from the future to alter history, but found that this past was not her own. Unable and unwilling to return to her own time, Phoenix allied herself with the X-Men and became one of the founding members of Excalibur. Extra fact, Rachel uses her powers to hide horrible facial tattoos that scar her face. Number 5. And number 6, Nightcrawler. Real name, Kurt Wagner. Height, 5'9". Weight, 145 pounds. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men number 1, May 1975. Despite his frightening appearance, Nightcrawler is a swashbuckling comedian at heart. Possessing a mischievous sense of humor and a wild, adventurous imagination, while his personality boisters the spirits of his teammates, his remarkable agility, power of teleportation, and tremendous courage have proven themselves even more valuable in combat time and time again. Extra fact. Abandoned by his parents at birth, Nightcrawler was raised by the sorceress Margali Sardos. Next up, Cannonball. Real name, Sam Guthrie. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 150 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants graphic novel number 82. Sam Guthrie lived in an uneventful life in a small Kentucky town until a mining accident triggered his latent mutant abilities. He found that he could propel himself through the air at fantastic speeds, and while doing so, his blast field rendered him impervious to harm. Sam realized that he had to use his powers to help bring about a better world, a task he strives to accomplish in the company of X-Force as Cannonball. Extra fact, Cannonball was a founding member of the X-Men's junior team, the New Mutants. Next up, Wolfsbane. Real name, Randy Sinclair. Height, 5'2", weight, 120 pounds. Group affiliation, X Factor. First appearance, New Mutants graphic novel, 1982. The young Scottish lass is a powerful mutant metamorph who can transform herself into an intelligent wolf. In that form, she has incredible speed, strength, and agility, and her senses are heightened beyond those possessed by a normal wolf. During the recent war against mutants known as the Extinction Agenda, Wolfsbane was prevented from ever again returning to her human form. But that hasn't stopped her from joining the government's mutant team X Factor. Extra fact, Wolfsbane has a major crush on her X Factor teammate Havoc. Next up, Siren. So that Teresa Rourke. Height 5'6", weight 112 pounds. Group affiliation X-Force. First appearance Spider-Woman number 37, April 1981. When Siren talks, criminals run for cover. This spunky young Irish mutant can create sonic force in her vocal cords and project it as a penetrating sonar or a shattering concussive sonic lance. Though tricked into a short criminal career by her evil uncle, Black Tom Cassidy, and his powerful partner, the unstoppable Juggernaut, Siren has since joined the heroic mutant paramilitary unit known as X-Force. When Siren sees evil stains, she shouts it out. Extra fact, Siren has only recently met her father, the X-Men known as Banshee, who thought she'd been killed as a child. Get a good look at that? Alright, good. Up next, Lockheed. Real name unrevealed. Height 1 foot. Weight 55 pounds. Group affiliation x-calibur. First appearance Uncanny X-Men number 166. During a dangerous expedition in space, the X-Men Shadowcat befriended the alien dragon. Like dragons of myth, Lockheed has bat-like wings that enabled him to fly, and he can expel intense bursts of flame. Lockheed has since become a valued ally of the heroic superhuman group Excalibur. Extra fact. Shadowcat named Lockheed after the X-Men supersonic jet, the Blackbird, which was designed at Lockheed Aircraft. Alright, subject, Xavier, Professor Xavier. Real name, Charles Xavier. Uh, Height, 6 foot, weight, 190 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 1, September 1968. The most powerful mutant telepath on Earth, Professor X traveled the world researching the effects of genetic mutation, realizing that mutants, people born with extra power and abilities beyond those of ordinary humans, were increasing in number. He found the X-Men to train young mutants to use their powers for the good of both human and mutant kind. Through the years, Professor X has held true to the idealistic dream, working toward a future in which all people can live together in peace. Extra fact, the unstoppable menace known as Juggernaut is Professor X's stepbrother. Next up, Psylocke. Subject, Psylocke. Real name, Elizabeth Braddock. Height, 5'11". Weight, 155 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Blue Strike Force. First American appearance, New Mutants Annual number 2. October 1986. Mighty in both mind and body, Psylocke is one of the world's most powerful telepaths as well as a mistress of the martial arts. She can combine both her mental and physical skills to generate a psychic blade from her right hand, which allows her to disable nearly any opponent without causing bodily harm. These powers, plus her ferocious warrior spirit, makes Psylocke one of the most dangerous heroes alive. Extra fact, Psylocke is the sister of Brian Braddock, also known as the hero called Captain Britain. Next up, Domino. Real name, unrevealed, height, 5'7", weight, 125 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants number 98, February 1991. Who is she? Evil doers ask the woman with the snow white skin and the black ringed eye swings into action. They're still wondering as she outfights them, cutting them down with equal parts of savagery and wit. Call me Domino is the only answer she'll give, because things just have a way of falling into place for me. But who is she really? Not even Cable, her old friend and fighting partner, knows for sure. But whoever she is, be glad she's on our side. Extra fact, Cable and Domino met 15 years ago when they fought together as members of the mercenary group Wild Pack. Next up, Storm. Subject name, Storm. Real name, Aurora Monroe. Height, 5'11", weight, 127 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Gold Strike Force. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men #1, May 1975. Using her mutant ability to control weather, Storm can summon hurricane force winds and rain, fire intense bolts of lightning, and fly on bruises of her own creation. In the past, Storm was a thief on the streets of Cairo and was worshipped as a goddess of the wind in East Africa. Now she is the leader of the X-Men's Gold Strike Force, using her awesome powers for the good of mankind and mutant kind alike. Extra fact, Storm keeps a large greenhouse in the attic of the X-Mansion. Her powers make her an excellent gardener. Up next, Megan. Subject, Megan. Real name, Megan. Height, variable. Weight, variable. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First American appearance, New Mutants Annual #2. October 1986. Megan was born with a freakish werewolf-like appearance and believed she was a hideous demon. But an encounter with Captain Britain revealed that she was actually a mystical mutant metamorph, able to change her shape at will. She now takes on the appearance of a lovely young lass and uses her abilities to combat evil. No longer an outcast because of her looks, Megan has finally found her true role in life as a member of Excalibur. Extra fact, when Megan isn't concentrating, she takes on the appearance of anyone around her. Subject, Feral. Real name, unrevealed. Uh, Height, 5'5", weight, 120 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants #100. April 1999. 1991. Just another furry, ferocious fighter? Not quite. While Feral has the swift reflexes, uncanny agility, heightened senses, and animal savagery that make fighting evildoers second nature, she has a coy, seductive side. This Morlock refugee could tickle you with her tail 1 second and break you with her claws the next. The volatile personality makes her the most troublesome member of X-Force and one of the most formidable in combat. Extra fact, Feral has a long-standing grudge with the Morlock's leader, Mask. Next up, Cyclops. Alright, real name Scott Summers. Height 6'3", weight 175. Group affiliation X-Men Blue Strike Force. First appearance Uncanny X-Men #1, September 1963. The man called Cyclops possesses the uncanny mutant ability to fire beams of devastating energy from his eyes. These optic blasts are so powerful that they can only be effectively harnessed by a special ruby quartz visor designed by Professor X. Over the years, Cyclops has grown from a sullen, withdrawn loner into the cool, confident, capable leader of the X-Men Blue Strike Force. Extra fact, Cyclops recharges his optic blast by absorbing solar energy. Up next, Gambit. Real name unrevealed. Height 6'2", weight 180 pounds. Group affiliation X-Men. Blue Strike Force. First appearance Uncanny X-Men number 266. August 1990. Growing up on the streets of New Orleans, this raging Cajun used his mutant talents to convert any object's stored potential energy into kinetic energy to become a master thief. Since befriending the X-Men Storm, however, Gambit has given up his criminal ways. Now, as a member of the X-Men's Blue Strike Force, he uses his phenomenal power to protect people in need, both mutant and non-mutant. Extra fact. When he's not out saving the world, Gambit can often be found in the kitchen, cooking up a pot of his special chicken creole. Up next, Cable. Subject, Cable. Real name, unrevealed. Height, 6'8". Weight, 350 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants, number 87, March 1990. The cyborg warrior known as Cable is a man of mystery. While his origins remain unknown, his cunning and well-honed fighting skills, aided by his bionic limbs, are all too familiar to his enemies. In his short time as a leader of X-Force, he has taken the team of young mutants and forged them into a band of formidable soldiers. In a world that hates and fears those with mutant abilities, Cable believes only the toughest fighters will survive. Extra fact, Cable possesses the mutant power of telekinesis, the ability to move objects with his mind. Up next, the Archangel. Subject, Archangel. Real name, Warren Worthington III. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 150 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men. Gold Strike Force. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 1. September 1963. Once known as the Angel, Warren Worthington was shaped by the villainous Apocalypse into a vision of death. Now, as an Archangel, he is empowered with brutal metal wings that allow him to fly faster than the speed of sound. His new wings contain razor-sharp blades coated with a paralyzing neurotoxin, which he can hurl with deadly accuracy. Separated forever from the playboy life he once led, Archangel now attempts to use these gifts of evil in the cause of justice. Extra fact, Warren's wings have a sinister life of their own. They can control Archangel when he least expects it. Up next, Banshee. Real name, Sean Cassidy. Height, 6 feet. Weight, 170 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 28, January 1967. Beware the scream of the Banshee, for this Irish mutant possesses a sonic streak that can disintegrate solid matter. The Banshee's voice can also propel him through the air on waves of sound or hypnotize the most vicious of villains. Once a foe of the Uncanny X-Men, Sean Cassidy was recruited by Professor X to help defeat the murderous mutant Krakow, the living island. Now, after a brief retirement, the Banshee is back in high-pitched action. Extra fact, one of the X-Men's oldest enemies, The villainous mutant Black Tom Cassidy is Banshee's cousin. Shadowcat. Real name, Catherine Kitty Pride. Height 5'4", weight 105 pounds. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men, number 129. January 1980. Nothing slows Shadowcat down. If something gets in her way, she walks right through it. Her mutant ability to phase the molecules of her body gives her ghost-like intangibility, letting her pass through walls, walk on air, and allowing the things she touches to do the same. Though she's a veteran superhero, having served with both the X-Men and Excalibur, at heart she's still an ordinary, rambunctious teenager. Well, maybe not so ordinary. Extra fact, though she lives in England with the rest of the Excalibur, Shadowcat is American, born and raised near Chicago. Up next, Kylon. Real name, Colin McKay. Height, 6'2", weight, 180 pounds. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Excalibur number 2, November 1988. Uh, when Colin McKay was 7 years old, he was kidnapped by the British kingpin of crime, Vixen. While escaping, he hid in a derelict factory where he encountered the dimensional doorway of the wondrous Widget. Teleported to the ice plains of Eroth, Colin became Kylon the Warrior. Recently, he returned to Earth armed with a pair of swords that can slice through anything except those who are pure of heart, and was welcomed into the British superhero group Excalibur. Extra fact, Kylon has the unusual mutant ability to imitate any sound he hears. Up next, Jean Grey. Real name, Jean Grey. Height, 5'6", weight, 110 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Gold Strike Force. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 1, September 1963. Formerly known as Marvel Girl, Jean Grey is gifted with the psychic powers of telepathy, the power to read minds, and telekinesis, the power to move things through the use of mental force alone. By relentlessly driving herself to improve and refine her mutant abilities, she has become one of the world's most powerful psionic talents, possessing mental powers second only to those of her mentor, Professor X, and someday she may surpass even him. Extra fact, the villainess known as the Goblin Queen was in fact a clone of Jean Grey. Subject, Colossus. Real name, Peter Rasputin. Height, 6'7". Weight, 275 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Gold Strike Force. First appearance, Giant Size X-Men number 1, May 1975. The son of humble Russian farmers, Peter Rasputin is gifted with the soul of a poet and the power to transform himself into a superhumanly strong giant of living steel. Although he's one of the most powerful heroes on Earth, Colossus despises violence of any kind. Alongside his fellow X-Men, he fights to bring about a world in which evil is eliminated once and for all, so that he need battle no longer. Extra fact, Colossus is the brother of Liliana Rasputin, once known as a mutant called Magic. Up next, Warpath, real name James Proudstar. Height, 6'1", weight 214 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants number 16, June 1984. Warpath possesses mutant-born superhuman strength and speed. At one time, he sought revenge on those he held responsible for his brother's death, the X-Men. Later realizing the error of his ways, he put aside his hatred of the X-Men and joined the mutant super team, X-Force, so he could direct his power toward bringing about a more peaceful world. His devil-may-care attitude masks the soul of a proud warrior. Uh, Extra fact, Warpath is the brother of the deceased X-Man known as Thunderbird, and was a variation of his costume. Up next, Polaris, real name Lorna Dane. Height 5'7", weight 15 pounds. Group affiliation X-Force. First appearance Uncanny X-Men number 49, October 1968. Polaris can manipulate one of the primal forces of force fields and firebolt of the universe, magnetism, to levitate objects, create force fields, and fire bolts of awesome power. Despite her mutant might, however, she prefers to live as normal life as possible, using her superhuman powers only when battling alongside her teammates in X Factor against the forces of evil. Extra fact, Polaris once believed that the evil mutant known as Magneto was her father. Subject, Boom Boom. Real name, Tabitha Smith. Height, 5'5". Weight, 105 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, Secret Wars 2, number 5, November 1985. Combine a bad attitude, a mediocre job, and fantastic mutant energy, time bombs, and you've got Boom Boom. As a new mutant and now a member of the paramilitary mutant team X-Force, Boom Boom has led an exciting life, which she'd probably find impressive if she ever had a moment of self-awareness. Boy crazy and boisterous, this explosive, techno-static warrior wannabe still tends to blow up at her teammates when there's nobody else to fight. Extra fact, Boom, Boom Boom can make time bombs of varying strengths, sizes, and time delays. Sometimes she can even make duds. Subject, Jubilee. Real name, Jubilation Lee. Group affiliation, X-Men. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 244. May 1989. When Jubilee's involved, the fireworks never stop. This spunky Chinese-American child of the Los Angeles malls is a blast in more ways than one. Her mutant metabolism allows her to generate light energy plasmoids that explode with spectacular force. Though Professor X has since sidelined her from active duty due to her very young age, Jubilee eagerly awaits the chance to burst into battle once again. Extra fact, Jubilee is an orphan and has yet to reveal much about her past to the X-Men. Right. Next up, Shatterstar. Real name, Shatterstar. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 225 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Force. First appearance, New Mutants number 100. April 1999 and 1991. In the future, in order to overthrow the tyrannical Mojo 5, Shatterstar traveled to the distant past to obtain the aid of the legendary X-Men. Instead, he found X-Force and became a member of that mutant team of superheroes. A fierce and impassioned warrior trained from birth solely to fight and the unequaled master of many weapons, Shatterstar has proven to be one of the most formidable champions of justice in the world today. Extra fact, Shatterstar is from the same alternate universe, ultimate dimension as the X-Men named Longshot, but the hundreds of years in its future. Next up, Strong Guy, real name Guido, height 7'1", weight 4415, group affiliation X Factor, first appearance New Mutants Annual number 1, March 1984. Strong Guy joined X Factor for the simplest of reasons, the regular paycheck. Caring little about the problems between man and mutant kind, he lives instead for the finer things in life, wine, women, and song. And he's not above using his tremendous mutant strength to put those who would criticize his lifestyle in their place. Extra fact, Strong Guy used to be the bodyguard of the intergalactic rock star and thief named Leela Cheney. Subject, Captain Britain, real name, Brian Braddock. Height, 6'6", weight, 275 pounds, 257 pounds. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Captain Britain Weekly number 1, October 1976. Attacked by criminals and left for dead, young English scientist Brian Braddock was saved by the sorcerer Merlin and transformed into his country's greatest superhero, Captain Britain. Using his super strength, flying ability, and courage, he fights for justice throughout the world and in other dimensions as well. Despite his occasional stubbornness and impulsiveness, the captain is a continuing symbol of freedom and hope for his countrymen. Our Captain Britain is number 616 in a multi-dimensional organization of Captain Britons. Up next, Forge. Real name unrevealed. Height 6 foot. Weight 180 pounds. Group affiliation X-Men. First appearance Uncanny X-Men number 184. August 1984. From superpower neutralizers to defense system disruptors, figuring out how to make it work is Forge's mutant power, but his talents couldn't save him from the scars of the Vietnam War. Both physical, his right hand and leg had to be replaced with cybernetics, and psychological. Now, as a member of the X-Men, he fights another war, this time against the forces of hatred and oppression that threaten to enslave mutant and humankind. Extra fact, as a result of a Vietnam War trauma, Forge only rarely uses his other powers. Native American mystical abilities. Subject, multiple man. Real name, Jamie Madrox. Height, 5'11". Weight, 155 pounds. Group affiliation, X Factor. First appearance, Giant Size Fantastic Four number 4. February 1975. Known as the Baltimore Man, Madrox has the unusual mutant ability to create identical duplicates of himself when he's struck with sufficient impact. He controls his power by wearing a special suit that insulates him from kinetic energy. Although the maximum number of duplicates that he can generate is not yet known, Each one is capable of independent thought, feeling, and action, and has the ability to create even more duplicates. Extra fact, Madrak first split into two beings when the doctor spanked him right after his birth. Subject, Quicksilver. Real name, Pietro Maximoff. Height, 6 foot. Weight, 175 pounds. Group affiliation, X Factor. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 4. March 1964. The fastest man on Earth, and some would say the most obnoxious, Quicksilver uses his mutant power of superhuman speed to protect mankind, despite the fact that he feels ordinary humans are beneath him. Formerly a member of the superhero team known as the Avengers, but now affiliated with the X Factor, Quicksilver is easily one of the world's greatest superheroes, at least in his own mind. Extra fact, before he formed, Quicksilver was a founding member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Rogue, real name unrevealed, height 5'8", weight 120 pounds. Group affiliation, X-Men Blue Strike Force. First appearance, Avengers Annual number 10, 1981. Not just invulnerable and super strong, Rogue can fly too, but her most unusual talent is her mutant ability to absorb the powers and memories of others with the merest touch. Though the transfer is usually only temporary, if Rogue's not careful, she could be stuck with a stranger in her head forever. A member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, while her foster mother Mystique led that group, Rogue is now a mainstay of the X-Men's Blue Team. Extra fact, Rogue gained her invulnerability and strength when she permanently absorbed the power of Ms. Marvel. Subject, Widget. Real name, Widget. Height, 6 feet. Weight, variable. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Excalibur number 1. October 1988. Once he was a little gray ball of scrap, but after an incident with the idiot savant psycho inventor Tweedledope, Widget, a combination of trash, baked beans, and a spider, became alive. He is basically friendly and helpful, even if his time-space dimension-hopping actions have resulted in more pandemonium than peace. In response to the cross-time havoc Widget has accidentally wrought, he was recently altered to prevent any travel outside our dimension. Extra fact, Widget has consisted of just a head until he recently built a dimension-shifting humanoid body for himself. Next up, Bishop. Real name unrevealed. Height 6 foot. Weight 210 pounds. Group affiliation X-Men. Gold Strike Force. First appearance Uncanny X-Men. Number 282. November 1991. Accidentally wrenched back through several decades by the time twisting evil mutant named Fitzroy. Bishop arrived in our era from one of Earth's many possible futures. Bishop survived the battle that followed thanks to his mutant ability to absorb the energy attacks of others and turn that power back against his foes. Stranded in our time, Bishop has added his might to that of the present-day X-Men by joining their gold team. Extra fact, in his own time period, Bishop was a member of the X-Men of the future. Subject, Maverick. Real name, unrevealed. Height, 6'3". Weight, 230 pounds. First appearance, X-Men number 5. February 1992. Not much is known about the mysterious Maverick, but it is believed that he was one of the creations of the same Weapon X project that created Wolverine. Maverick is a mutant with the amazing ability to see into the various immediate futures of his foes, so he's able to choose the course of action that allows him to come out on top. He wears a suit of cybernetic armor that enhances the strength and speed and also contains a vast array of weapons. Extra fact. Maverick was once a CIA operative and he worked with both Wolverine and Sabretooth upon occasion. Series. Real name, Series. Height, 5'11". Weight, 125 pounds. Group affiliation, Excalibur. First appearance, Excalibur number 47, January 1992. A daughter of the Subrukai, Zorstark, and Kolika tribes, and warrior of the Grand Jar. Cerise is one of the many extra-dimensional visitors that arrived on Earth via the dimensional nexus point that exists in the lighthouse headquarters of Excalibur. Able to wield crimson energy fields in a variety of shapes, from a powerful blast to defensive walls, Cerise has become one of the mightiest new members of the British superhero group. Extra fact, Cerise travels between dimensions in insect-like battle armor. And that, my friends, was the last of the superheroes. In the next video, we have the, the villains. See y'all in part 2.